Warning, before watching this video, you gotta remember this is my opinion. And my opinion matters to me and me alone. If you guys don't like my opinion, that's alright. You don't have to like my opinion. Also, I throw a little bit of unprofessionalism in this video, just a little bit. I don't mean to. I'm tired of it, and I need to make the joke. So it seems to be that there's a topic going around the Dragon Ball Z community right now that it's called Super Saiyan God White Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan God White. It really doesn't matter. Toriyama pretty much in a... sorry, just kind of adjusting my computer here. I'm just talking here. Toriyama pretty much just explained that he was going to use white as opposed to blue because of color clashing with an enemy. If you think about what color clashing is, it's not meaning it's going to use the same color for a villain. It's using the opposite towards that color. It's color clashing. So it's not someone we've seen before. It's someone who is indeed the opposite to white, which is black. Meaning it's a villain that we're going to see in the nearby future. And he eventually said that had he not used white for that... what I think he meant is that if he was going to use white for Frieza, it would have, in his mind, said, well, that's kind of screwy because then I'd have to make blue for this guy because he needs a form for the next villain. I honestly don't agree with this, but I feel like that they're just going to keep making new forms towards a new villain to kind of get stronger. I feel like they've actually already accomplished the Super Saiyan White form when they were doing their 4 years of training in the Hyperbolic Time Chamber. But I feel like that they're using this as an example to finally have a pure form. And when they do this, they're going to have almighty heroes of white sun gazing, of God's purest color, that kind of whole thing where it's light is white and darkness is black. So the newest villain, I'm sure, is going to be the color clash of black and white, or yin and yang, finally actually touching on that pose to Japanese culture. Is it Japanese or Chinese? I don't remember. But either way, they're going to finally touch upon the yin and yang by having a black villain and a white super... I just realized how bad that can be taken. But they're going to have the light versus darkness villain as opposed to having Goku versus Frieza, Goku versus Boo, Gohan versus Cell. I feel like this time it's going to be Vegeta finally realizing his light and being the white, and a villain being darkness. That's probably someone Beerus knew or Vegeta knew when he was a kid, so it's going to be someone he's going to overcome his fears. I feel like it's going to be another Frieza race character. I feel like there's a lot to do with those characters because we've only had, I guess now we've had 5, if you count Cooler, Frieza, King Cold, the 2 guys from the Multiverse Tournament. Yeah, if you count those guys, then we've had 5, which means if they make another one, that wouldn't be too bad because they're aliens. We don't need more aliens. We don't need more strong aliens. We just need more people with a reason. That's what I feel like Dragon Ball Super is missing, is a reason. Right now, they just have a tournament to prove who's better. To be honest, that's a bad way of looking at this. I feel like we need a villain similar to Frieza, whose reasoning was because he wanted immortality. I know they use the immortality trope a lot, but we need a reason for a villain that makes sense with the color clashing of white and dark. Of white and black. So that we can have a reason for a Super Saiyan God form, unlike Super Saiyan Blue. I felt like there was absolutely no reason for Super Saiyan Blue. We all kind of saw it coming. No one really gave a crap when they saw it. I feel like when they pull out Super Saiyan White, even though they've already ruined it, then it needs to have something a little bit better towards it. Another thing that they said in the that Toriyama said in the interview is that they're going to be doing a more another multiverse thing, and they're probably bringing back some characters that we've met in the past. everyone's pointing their finger at Trunks. I don't think it's far off, but I think it might be in the wrong direction. People are also saying Bardock, Broly, all this stuff. I think, again, they're pointing in the wrong direction. What's a character that we haven't seen in a long time? If you think well and hard and long enough, we haven't seen Grandpa Gohan in a long time. We haven't seen him since Dragon Ball. I feel like he's going to be explaining something that's going on in another world, kind of like pulling Fusion Reborn-ish kind of thing. I feel like they're going to have like a villain who is just so evil and pure. He was born from the evil emanating in hell, or I'm just going to call it hell. That's emanating in hell. It's just made of pure darkness. And Goku can't beat it. But he did well enough damage on it that now Vegeta, being the same strength as Goku at this point, they could fuse together to make the white hair. I'm putting it at this. If they put Goku and Vegeta together to make the fusions, so Gogeta, and make Gogeta a canon character, then he'd be the pure Saiyan, being Super Saiyan White, meaning that Goku and Vegeta can't make this form without each other. So that's how I feel like they're going to mix this in. And then they're going to have all the past villains helping out with this guy. It might seem a little GT-ish or, again, Fusion Reborn, but I feel like they could do it better by only having the primal villains around and maybe kind of ditching the idea of having Boo there. I feel like he would be unnecessary because Boo is technically still alive, but that would mean hopefully they don't ever touch upon Oob. I really don't want Oob around, although I feel like now that they've made Super that they just kind of negated the ending of Dragon Ball Z that they gave to us, like that tournament that had Oob showing up. I feel like that's been taken away, that's gone. I don't think we're going to get Brawla. I think Vidal's the ending step. I think there's too many kids as it is now. I think it's done. And speaking of kids, if it's not Goku or Vegeta, it's going to be Goten and Trunks. Or Pan. Those three could have their own kind of thing now, being that it's time for them to take the reins of the series and excel for their own future, giving that Goku and Vegeta cannot make this Super Saiyan White form. They have to teach the others how to achieve this form. Meaning, even though Pan isn't like a big or strong character, like we don't know what she's going to be like, I feel like they're going to try and make art, like the new Trunks, like Kid Trunks as everyone calls him, I feel like they're finally going to age the kids and like give them a prime, like people say that they're in this form immortally, like they're going to be stuck in their quote-quote prime. I feel like Trunks' quote-quote prime is future Trunks, but we won't see him again. I don't feel like we're ever getting future Trunks back. It would just make no sense to bring him back. There's no reason. He's the protector of his universe. He doesn't need to come back. Maybe if they wanted to like jump to his universe, that's understandable. But to bring him back and not make our Trunks older would be wrong. Then that on the other spectrum, they have to make Goten older too. So then finally we can focus on an older Goten and older Trunks. And we can finally get an older Gotenks. And a less idiotic Gotenks and a more mature Gotenks. Even though that's not what he's supposed to be, I feel like that would be better for them in the long run, them to age. Pan doesn't have to come anywhere. Hell, if they do bring Oob back, I don't want them to touch upon him as much as people want them to. I feel like Oob is an unnecessary character. But back to discussion. I feel like it's time to end the creation of Super Saiyan forms. Because, well, what do you think is going to happen? If, like, I feel like more people, after seeing White, they're going to be disappointed that they didn't see Super Saiyan Red, Super Saiyan 2, like, or Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan 3, or Super Saiyan Blue, Super Saiyan 17. Like, I'm tired of seeing previous forms getting rehashed. I feel like eventually they should just stop with the Super Saiyan God thing and say, well, now it's kind of a petty, useless form. We're too overpowered. And if they keep going on with these forms, they're going to surpass even Beerus. I feel like that's how quickly it's going to go. So, just to kind of make a joke out of this whole thing, let's list off some colors they could make more Super Saiyan forms if they intended to. Super Saiyan Pink. Super Saiyan Green. Super Saiyan Purple. Hell, how about we even throw some Demon? Super Saiyan Demon. Now it's time for some Super Saiyan Angel. Sound proper? All in all, guys, I honestly feel like it's time to retire the making new Super Saiyans. At this point, we're past 6, especially if we do with the white thing. It's time to end the Super Saiyan line. Although, I admit, even though I don't like the design of the Super Saiyan Demon thing, I feel like if they do continue making forms, it'd be best to make it from other universes, just to kind of expand, but not create Goku or Vegeta as a stronger being. I feel like it's time to retire them becoming stronger than what they are. They're already pretty powerful in their own right, and it's time to retire making Super Saiyan forms. Hey guys, Soul Hero is out.